Dear scholars, let us start learning our last lesson from the first term syllabus, that is 2.5, The Happy Prince. It is the story written by Oscar Wilde. In this story, it is mentioned that the statue of the prince tries to help the needy people in its kingdom. So, before learning the story, let us have warming up activities. Here is the first one. There are different types of short stories. Use a dictionary or internet and find out what each of the following types refer to, or what does each type mean. First, let me give an example. Fable. What is fable? A fable means a short story. It is the story of any animal or a story which has moral tale, or you can say it is a moral tale. Next is anecdote. What is it? It is interesting story about a real incident, or it may be a story of any person. So in the same way, using dictionary or internet, you have to find the meaning of each type of short story. Let us see the next second activity. Have you heard of birds that fly from one part of the world to another in small or large flocks? They are called migratory birds. So, definitely, you might have heard about those birds. There are birds like flamingos, Siberian crane, etc. They migrate. Discuss and write. Now, what you have to do, that is given. Discuss and write down two reasons why they migrate and return. Reason for their migration. So, you have to write two reasons. So, what reasons are there specially? It is of the reason is of food, water, again temperature in any particular season, etc. So, think of such reasons and write those reasons in the forms of sentences. Next, it is about grammar. Speech or dialogues can be reported in two ways. What are those two ways? Direct and indirect. That is what? Direct speech and indirect speech. What is that? Let us see. When the exact words of the speaker are reported, we call it direct speech. If we say what others said as it is, that is the direct speech. Then what is indirect? When the exact words of the speaker are not reported but just its contents, we call it indirect speech. So by making some of the changes, if we present the dialogue of other, that is called as indirect speech. Let us make it clear with the help of the given examples. So first is the example of direct speech. Amar said. What Amar said, or what is its his dialogue, that is given in double inverted commas here. It is his dialogue. What is that? I shall come to meet you tomorrow, Sanket. So, if such a sentence or such a dialogue is presented, that is called as direct speech. Now, how same dialogue can be expressed or can be reported in the indirect speech, or what is indirect speech? Let us see. Amar told Sanket that he would go to meet him the next day. So same dialogue is reported by making some of the changes. So here it is the example of indirect speech. Now based on this information, here you have to do this activity. Note down the changes you observe in the indirect speech. So here is the example of direct speech and same reported in indirect speech. So what changes did you find? That those you have to write below in this activity. So four of the changes you have to write. Let me tell which are those. First, whatever dialogue given here, it may be any type of sentence that became assertive sentence only here. Next, whatever inverted commas given in direct speech, they are removed in the indirect, right? Next, whatever verb used in direct speech, what is it? Said. It became told. It means there is change in the verb in indirect speech. Next is, here is the adverb tomorrow. It it has a change and it became the next day. So it is the change in the adverb in indirect speech. And next is, additionally, the word that it is used. Again, whatever tense of the dialogue is used over here, it also changed. So these are the changes if we write the sentence of direct speech into indirect speech. So this is all about all the activities given in warming up based on the lesson The Happy Prince. I hope you all will understand the given explanation and easily you all will do these activities.